Well, the other guy that Alabama gets the commitment from is four-star athlete. I believe Alabama is probably going to play him at tight end in Mack Sutter. What do you know about this guy? He's a guy that, for me, wasn't as high on my radar as some of the others. I know, he's obviously a highly ranked guy, but the athletes, for me at least, get a little lost in the shuffle because they don't have the position ranking next to them. So sometimes when I'm kind of looking into this stuff, I don't circle them as quite as often as I do somebody else.
Well, I really like this kid, and I think if you watch the tape on him, you see a guy that's roughly 6'6", around 230. So he's got a massive frame. Going to probably play around 250 once he gets to playing in Tuscaloosa, at the tight end position. And I think if you line him up as an H to be a pass catcher, you're going to say, "Wow, this dude's a really good pass catcher." You line him up at the Y to maybe be that inline blocker and be physical. You watch the tape and you're like, man, he can do that too, which is very rare at the high school level at the tight end position. So Mack Sutter is a massive get for Alabama. They were looking for that kind of star player at that position in this class. They got a couple guys in the last cycle, and Caleb Edwards and Marshall Pritchett, who I think are going to be good players. But much like Kroll, I think Max Sutter is a difference maker type player. So really good pickup for Alabama. I see him being I don't know, an instant impact guy because you don't know about the weight and how much he can handle from a physicality standpoint right away. But down the road, this is a really good player who I think can be an impactful guy, both as a pass catcher and as a blocker on the end line. And, it's rare to see those types of guys. You saw Brock Bowers do it for Georgia. I'm not saying he's Brock Bowers, by the way. That dude's just different. But he's a guy who can do both and do them both really well.
Yeah, and what you're talking about, that's something that being able to do both is not something you often see at that tight end
Yeah.
position. Think of the guy, and again, not to talk poorly of the guy who we have on our roster today, but like Jackson Marco, right? Like he came in as just a truly blocking guy. I believe he had one reception when he got here. Like this is not, when you're looking at a tight end position, you're a completely serviceable and even starter being, I don't want to say unable to catch the football, but being not a pass catching tight end. So for him having that ability to play both positions in our system, that's a huge deal when you're looking at like long term benefits of this guy.
Absolutely, and the way you can look at it is like this season. I expect Danny Lewis to be the more inline guy, blocking, being a physical player, and Josh Cuevas to be that pass catching specialist from that tight end position. So look, you still get the job done. You're just having to do it with two players instead of one. So it's rare to find that tight end that can do both. And I really think down the road, Max Suter is going to be able to do that and be a really good weapon for Alabama. And what that allows you to do is you can put an extra playmaker out wide beside Ryan Williams, beside, you know, Lotsier Brooks, beside some of those freshman phenoms that are coming through, Derek Meadows, whoever else is coming through. You're going to have, you can put those guys out wide and you can have that one tight end who's not only, you put him in there and you're like, oh, well, he's just blocking. Well, you put Josh Cuevas in, oh, he's just going to be pass catching. No, you put Max Suter in down the road and you're thinking, hey, he's either going to, he can do both. So it just opens up so much for your offense. And it's a rare thing to have. And I look at Max Suter and I think, man, by the time he's probably a redshirt sophomore, if he doesn't do it sooner, this guy could be a weapon in this Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer offense.
Yeah, that's great news to hear.